each of you, can you tell us how you... Maybe David, you start and tell us how the project came into being, the short version.
The short version is I was having a meeting with our fantastic writer, Stephen Beresford, and it was the first time I met him, and I pitched him loads of ideas. Well, I thought he was great, and I pitched him loads of ideas, and he is an actor, but clearly not a good enough actor to not look completely disinterested in my ideas. But I thought I'd love to do something with him, and I said, have you got any great story that you would love to write? And he said, I've got this one story, and this was it.
And Andrew, you got to meet Gethin.
Yes, yeah.
Can you just tell us about what that was like?
Yeah, it was really important for us to first of all, Mike Jackson, who Joe Gilgan plays in the film, came in when we were in a rehearsal, and he gave us a very eloquent speech about what life was like in 1984 and 1985. And then a lot of the guys came down to the Gay Pride '85 march. They actually marched as special extras in the '85 march. But Gethin Mike Gethin is a sort of an amalgam of two characters. So the real Gethin's mother is actually a real gay rights activist. But she was incredibly understanding. So it was extraordinary to meet them. You know, it really meant a lot to us that we screened the film for them, and they were extraordinarily supportive and excited by it. So that meant a lot to us. Yeah.
And Faye, did you get to meet your character before?
I did. Oh, before the film. No, I met her for the first time last night at the UK premiere of the said film.
No pressure.
And didn't see her afterwards. So whether she hated me being here or not, I don't know. But no, that was amazing. And it's a big responsibility, but not one that's kind of, it's not a difficult pressure. It's just you want to honour these people and the achievements that they the things they've done for rights and their belief in human beings. And
so did you get any notes from her? Or
no, she was it was just really nice to meet her. It was before we saw the film, so it was just like, hi, lovely to meet you, big cuddles. I felt it was quite emotional, to be honest. This is someone who has done a wonderful thing along with the other guys involved in this group, and it was just, I must say, it is a wonderful privilege and pleasure to be in an incredibly important film like this one. So yeah.
So Ben, what sort of preparation were you able to do?
Andrew talked about Mike Jackson, and Mike was an amazing resource to all of us, and he was really instrumental in kind of illustrating what the world was back then, and relationship to taboo. And he was very generous with his time. He was very generous with me as far as detailing his relationship with Mark, giving me as much information about Mark as he could. And I'd say he was kind of the key resource for it. And then just kind of, it was a crash course in history, kind of getting versed with the politics and the what was happening socially at that time.
And what about the accent?
For my audition, I watched In the Name of the Father about 20 times. And then once we started shooting, or once I got the part, I was able to get footage of Mark Ashton speaking, and Mike gave me a recording of him speaking at political rallies. So I kind of just listened to that on loop for basically throughout the entire shoot. And
can I just say, as an Irishman, I think it's the most phenomenal accent I've ever heard any actor give.
I'm an Irishman too. I'm from the north, and I can tell you that. So, fair play to you.
Well, the thing is,
fair play to you. Exactly.
So many, we got a lot of British actors coming in doing great American accents. So, least I can do.
That's very generous. David. How long was the gestation of this project, and what is its future?
Well, it's probably about 3 years from sort of idea to the screen. Some of that time was Stephen had other projects that he needed to work on, and some of it was waiting for Matthew Warchus, who was directing Matilda on Broadway. So that's sort of how long it took. What's its future?
Well, I guess, it's been to Cannes, it's going to Toronto.
Yes.
It's sold pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, the hope is that it gets a major release everywhere around the world, but it will vary, I guess, territory by territory, and how exciting. Russia may not be the most fantastic release, but other territories will. The Germans think it's fantastic. There's a French premiere tonight, which is why we don't have Stephen and Matthew here. It feels like it's building here in the most fantastic way, and assuming people want to see this film about this story, we're getting amazing support from the press, and every time we do screen it, we get a great reaction from the public, which is really the thing that you money can't buy. If people love the film, it sort of charts its own course.
And each of you, where did you first see the finished film, and how many times have you seen it?
Imelda and I had to do a little bit of press for it, so we saw it in a little screening room about a month ago, and I found it totally overwhelming the first time I saw it. I think we all knew it was going to be a special film, but there's something about the cumulative effect of it, and I've seen it 4 times now, and but I find it deeply affecting every time. Yeah.
I've seen it twice. I saw it last night, and I saw it at the cast and crew, and cried probably about 10 seconds in, started crying, and cried throughout, really. Cried when it was funny, just because, I've got very close to the people that made this film, and the sense of kind of community we have within the film as people at work, is quite massive, and it's a very special and important part of my life. And again, I just want to say how thankful I am that I'm in something that is so dear to my heart, and I hope I'll see it many more times. I'm going to go back to the Northeast and watch it up there with all my pals.
Oh,
so that's going to be good.
You're going to see it tomorrow, aren't you?
Tomorrow.
Are you not? When you?
Where am I?
The Welsh premiere.
3 times tomorrow. Yes. So yes, tomorrow and then Toronto. So it's looking good for me. I've seen it a few times.
I've seen it twice as well. I saw a screening of it that David and the team organized for me in New York, and so I watched it with my dad and my best friend who put me on tape for my first audition for it.
Great.
So came
Did
full
he see
circle.
An improvement?
A little bit, hopefully, yeah. I think he thought he did all the other parts better. But and then I saw it again last night at the premiere, and it was it was just a really special environment last night, and seeing it with a room full of people was really unforgettable experience. Yeah.
Well, we're in London, which is the home of Lesbian and Gay Support the Miners, and I know there are at least a couple of people in the audience who worked in different LGSM groups.
Right.
Is there anyone in the audience who knew people in the movement, or are you there? Are there witnesses? You can just say yes. So it's not just people off the street, although they're good too. Anyway, please thank the makers of the film and tell all your friends. Thank you.